from modifiers onto restrictive and non-restrictive elements. So we're going to do skill DD1 here first, which is what does the punctuation suggest? This is where we get into why commas can be so important, how they can change the meaning of a sentence. So the question example they're giving us here is leavened bread requires a leavening agent, comma, which introduces gas into dough to make it rise. So we have two options here. We can say that only some leavening agents introduce gas to make it rise, or that all of them do to make it rise. Now, some of these questions, you logically will know what the answer is, but you have to be basing it on what the punctuation is saying. So pay attention to the rules of this, not what logically always makes sense. So starting with what exactly is a restrictive element. A restrictive element is something that we have to have in the sentence for it to make sense. Because it's important, we're not going to put commas with it. Remember we talked last semester about how lots of times we can put commas on either sides of things to show that they're not necessary. Many of you guys have actually already done our next bubble when we did things first semester. So this hopefully will be a bit of a review. So here we have the sentence, the teacher who is retiring is being honored with an award on Friday. That piece that's underlined is our restrictive clause, so just a group of words, but that's telling us which teacher is being honored. If you don't have that in there, you don't know which teacher is being honored. So it's important for us to know that so we know what the sentence is actually saying. That's what it means by restrictive. Okay, it's restricting us to just that information. Versus a non-restrictive element is something that's supplemental. Think of this as like bonus information. We don't have to have it, but it can be something interesting or cool to add in. So the sentence they have here, the Golden Gate Bridge, comma, which first opened in 1937, comma, took over 4 years to build. That which first opened in 1937 is our non-restrictive. We don't need it to make the sentence make sense. We still know about the Golden Gate Bridge, but it gives us more context to know that, oh yeah, it probably would take 4 years to build this bridge if you're building it in the 30s. So that does give us useful information. But we still find the core idea of it took 4 years to build with or without that clause in there. So you just have to make sure you're paying attention to where your commas are. So on our example sentence, we do have it set off with commas because this is non-restrictive. We can remove it and the leavening agent idea would still be clear. Leavened bread requires a leavening agent. Obviously, if you want your bread to be leavened, you need something to do the leveling.